Hey traders, TG Watkins. It is November 8th, Friday when I'm recording this, and welcome to your free video. If it isn't apparent, the market is up and up a lot, and based on Trump being elected. Now, again, for those of you who are kind of concerned about this, whatever, you're like, oh my God, of Trump and stuff like that. Look, remember 2020 kicked off when Joe Biden got elected, okay? That is when the real craziness during COVID actually happened, okay? So this isn't just necessarily a Trump thing. In a way, it can be just a presidential thing. Now we know which direction we're going to go as a country because we know what administration we have, and now we know what's important and where to go with it and all that kind of stuff, okay? Because when Joe Biden got elected in 2020, there was a certain sector of the market that totally exploded and made for amazing, incredible gains for 4 months. Hopefully, this one lasts a little bit longer. So, let's try not to be political about this. Let's just say, hey, this is what happened, and this is where we're at. Now, from a technical standpoint, and this is actually pretty impressive, because what if the election went a different way? I don't know. But from a technical standpoint, the S&P perfectly pulled back into the daily 50 and then launched. Okay, I was actually pretty surprised about that. I think a lot of us were thinking that the election was going to take a few days and it was going to be kind of close and all that stuff. But it was an absolute blowout, and the market knows that, and that's why it jumped up like that, and that's why it's been pushing for 4 days. Okay, so there really shouldn't be too much of a surprise at that point. Now, how long is this going to last? Let me also just show you one other thing, because I had somebody in one of our rooms say, hey, this pullback to fill the gap is going to be real painful. And I just want to show, back November 13th, November 14th, 2023, there was a pretty big gap here, and there was no pulling back to eventually fill the gap. So the gap does not have to be filled. Okay, just first thing. And then if you want to see like what we could be expecting, any down moves. So the market's very extended right now, and I am expecting some sort of, not pullback, but more like a flag, something to kind of come in, because this just isn't sustainable. I would also point to just November of 2023 as an example. So let's see if price comes down to something like the hourly 21, and then eventually let's see if price goes sideways into the hourly 50. The market is bullish. The index may not just keep going up and up and up every day. It might need to go sideways for a while, but underneath the surface, stocks are going to do their things. They will go up, they'll get extended, they'll pull back, they'll flag. They're going to do whatever they want to do. But just realize like the market needs to take a break at some point. I kind of feel like we're coming up on that. Part of my reason for saying that is, again, we're just so high and so far up that this thing is kind of wild, but we are running into the third ATR on the daily chart, and we are very far off the 8 EMA. Okay, the market's going to take a breather at some point. I wouldn't short it. Maybe you can do call credit spreads, or maybe you can look at zero DTE, stuff like that, but from like a swing trading perspective, I would not expect much to the downside. So please don't think that this is unsustainable and can't happen and isn't possible and we're going to get hard pullback. Like, that may not work. Yeah, the other thing is just this thing is really, really far up there, and I think we're going to take a breather. And so the next thing I'll be looking for is price to eventually get to the hourly 21. But remember, it's a moving average, so that can move, and it might come down just a little bit. Another way to look at this is if we look at the internals, and this is order flow. This is basically, how many shares are being bought versus how many shares are being sold. And you can see Tuesday, Wednesday, extremely bullish. Even Thursday, very bullish. But what about today? Today's different, okay? So underneath the surface, yes, the market went up to 6,012, it looks like. And yes, the index can kind of do things different from its internals. But this is showing us that while the index can push, underneath the surface, there just isn't that much support right here, right now. So I would welcome a bit of a pause or a breather or something into early next week, and then we kind of see where that goes. Of course, trade all your individual names by themselves. This is green line on, like everything's good. And you could also kind of see, like, again, Tuesday, this is the advanced decline. Stocks up versus stocks down. Huge. We even did pretty well Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday. But now you can see Friday down a little bit. Okay, so we're starting to get a little bit where not everything wants to go up anymore. Another way we can look at that, FNGU. This is the leveraged ETF of the FANG stocks, and you can see that today it actually pulled back a little bit. So that's what I mean. It's like, don't expect to short these things, but expect them to come back down and take a little bit of a breather. How about KRE, this is the regional banks. You can see it shot up huge, and it's taking a breather. Okay, so we're starting to see that there are a fair number of stocks that are just starting to take a breather. On the other hand, you look at things like this, Toast, huge, up on earnings. That's great. We're in it. Obviously, things like Tesla continue to push up. We are actually in TSLL, which is the leveraged ETF of Tesla from back here, and I think this is something like 85% gain. So yeah, we're having a great time. But these aren't going to keep going up like this in this capacity forever. So yeah, expect that there's going to be a pullback. So that, on the other hand, don't try to chase these things. I know it looks like everything is going crazy, and they are, but there will be opportunities that these things are going to pull back. They're going to flag. You'll find opportunities to get into this stuff because the party has only just begun. And another way to look at that is if we look at the IWM, this red line that I've had drawn in here for a couple years is the high of 2020. And you can see we just went to it a few months ago, kind of pulled back a little bit, and now we are clearly popping past that line. Okay, so the small caps are having a party. Okay, we're in an interest rate cutting cycle. The small caps are taking off. The whole market is taking off. Like, we're in a good situation. All right, and I really want to make sure you guys know this and do take advantage of it, but you have to find your spots. Buying the IWM right here may not be the best play. Okay, so just careful about that. You just have to be patient and wait for the right opportunity to get in on these things. Yeah, and so with that, we've got a lot of other things that are doing well and a lot of things that are breaking out. And so, come over to Simpler Trading, come over to my particular room, the Moxie Indicator Room. We're having a great time. This really does remind me of 2020. And really, the best part of 2020 only lasted about 4 months. And I think that this is going to be a little bit more sustainable. I think we're going to last a little bit longer. It's not quite as crazy. And I think, as I said, we're in an interest rate cutting environment and everything is just a little bit more... it's just, the government's not throwing a money bazooka to try to hold against the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. So I think that we're in a better place, in a better situation. And, I've got a bunch of names. I will leave you with Bitcoin, okay? Because, yeah, it's a free video. I'm sure you guys all know this. Bitcoin is making new highs. But what I really want you to see, we all know Trump administration is, they're beneficial to Bitcoin. They're pro-Bitcoin. Whether with energy or just supportive policies, all that kind of stuff. But from a technical standpoint, look at what Bitcoin has done. Here is your cup with declining handle, and you're breaking out. Okay, this is an extremely strong bullish chart. So make sure you have exposure to Bitcoin or anything related to Bitcoin, because this is the opportunity, guys. This is the opportunity. All right, make sure you don't miss it. And if you guys want some guidance, come over to the Moxie Indicator Trading Room. We are trading Bitcoin, we're trading leverage Bitcoin, we're trading the miners, like, we're in it. And feel free to ask questions and I'll help you guys out. So enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys later. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.